I'm Dr. B, and this is Dr. J with Texas
Hey.
Functional Health Center. So today we're going to be talking about stretching. All right. So, I mean, like, have you ever stretched before a workout or stretched after a workout and still ended up stiff the next day?
Yeah.
So that's what we're going to talk about. What's the importance of stretching, why we stretch, what it does for us. So I guess an interesting fact is going to be most people don't stretch enough or they don't stretch correctly.
Oh, yeah.
All right. And so that's some of the things that we're going to talk about is what's proper stretching, what we need to do before we work out, what we do after we work out, and who needs to stretch. Right? And so those are the things that we're going to go over.
Yeah, I had a patient the other day. She asked me, she was like, what's the point of stretching? Or like, I didn't even I heard that resistance stretching is all that you really need to do. And so that's kind of what brought this on today. I was like, oh no, obviously we need to have a conversation about why do you stretch? What is the point and purpose? And yes, by the way, you do need to stretch. You do.
Everybody needs to stretch to some degree.
Yeah.
So some important facts or statements about stretching. So stretching in general, so we're going to say dynamic or static stretching. So all the category of stretching muscles. It improves your flexibility and mobility. Right? Who would have thought? If you stretch a muscle, you can move further and better.
Yeah.
Just general application of that would be that you're able to exist and function better in life. So normal daily activities, the way that you use your body on a daily basis is going to improve. Say walking upstairs or going downstairs. If you're stretching your muscles, you can use those muscles better.
And it is like the simple things like you were talking about, like whenever you're reaching into your car, right, your back seat to get something, stretching. Whenever you're bending down to tie your shoes, stretching. Whenever you are picking up your kid, stretching. Whenever you're getting something out of the cabinet, stretching, right? So it really has a very functional application to your life.
For sure. I mean, speaking of that, stretching gets those muscles more functionality so that you have less chance of injury when you're doing normal everyday things.
Yeah.
Regular guy, I don't pick up very many heavy things on a daily basis, but on the weekend, maybe I'm going to go to Home Depot. I'm going to pick up some mulch or something like that. And I'm picking up a 50-pound bag.
Yeah.
It's something that I don't do on a normal basis or in that particular position. So as long as I stretch and I do some things to get those muscles working and functioning, when I do challenge those muscles, I have less chance of those injuries.
Yeah, because it increases blood flow, circulation to the muscles, which is really important, obviously, right? Through circulation, blood flow, we carry nutrients, oxygen, things like that.
It helps with just recovery of muscles on a daily basis. So not just within the exercise or workout positions, just normal day-to-day wear and tear on muscles, for sure. Another good thing about stretching, it's almost like a meditation. So it does help us with stress, emotional and physical representations of stress. So it does relieve a lot of tension.
It can, if you like stretching. I don't like stretching. I don't. No, I do it, but I don't like it. Right. I don't get into that meditation state.
So, I try and read the chat. It's really small on my phone, so it's kind of hard to get to it. Right? It's a good idea to stretch before you go on your runs, for sure, Kyle. The dynamic stretching is what we're going to talk about before working out. So it's definitely stretching, but more warming up the muscles, warming up the connective tissues, the joints themselves, as opposed to a static stretch.
Yeah.
Especially for runners or people that are doing some high endurance type exercises. Warming up those parts and pieces with some stretch component is going to be really the most beneficial thing for you. Let's see. So what does stretching actually do for your body?
Yeah, so it actually, you can kind of visualize it, right? As you are stretching, you're literally pulling the muscle fibers, right? Which then causes them to lengthen, which then causes them to, once again, get the blood flow, get the circulation, get everything in there, back to the healing.
Yep. So it facilitates muscle function as well as recovery.
Yeah, but also the muscle brain connection
Well,
as
yeah,
well.
the
Yeah.
neuromuscular re-education of the fibers that are associated with that movement.
Yeah.
So not just the muscle itself, but the connective tissues that are associated with the joint. So all those proprioceptive neurons that tell you where you are in space.
Yeah.
Those get stimulated to reset in some situations,
Right.
and that they're resetting their endpoints so where they know how far that muscle can go or how far that joint can go before
Yeah.
it
So
has
you're
an issue.
talking to your muscle.
Right. And you're training it to know where its endpoints are so that as you use your body, it's more capable of perceiving where those warning signs are.
Yeah.
And so all the proprioceptive nerve endings within the joint or within the muscle get stimulated through a stretching exercise, whether it's dynamic or static.
Yeah.
Side hurts. So you drink water sometimes before you go on walks. When my side hurts, if I don't stretch, even when I stretch, it does that. What should I do? Are we talking like stitches? So like something through your flank right through there whenever you've been walking or running for a long distance? What would be my question? What we mean by side?
Yeah.
Sometimes it's electrolyte imbalance. That's the most common thing that we'll think of for Charlie horses, or muscle cramps. So even if you do drink water, sometimes it's that we're a little low on some on regular like body salts. So maybe a electrolyte might help you before you work out, especially if you're working out here in Dallas in the heat. Making sure that we keep those electrolytes up. Sometimes the other thing with the stitches, so when we get it in our side, it's diaphragmatic or it's going to be on the side.
Yeah. So how long have you been running as well?
Another question.
You know,
distances and time.
Yeah, because that, like, if you just started running, that could be different. If like you are just sitting at a desk all day, that's going to be different. Like, you know, have you had any recent injuries, whether it be from your knee or ankle, or like, there's so like
complicated question,
right? Like I can't. There's so many things that could play into that.
A general thing to try, maybe a little electrolytes with the water before you run, or
give it a go.
Stretching more of your obliques or sides. So we think more like a QL stretch or something like that to get that portion of our spine warmed up, because it does require quite a bit more of our core mobility and strength to run or jog. So it's something that you might incorporate into your stretching. So not just your legs, but your core as well.
Yeah.
The stiffness in your neck or back or anything when you wake up. The reason that everything's super stiff in the morning is that we have some underlying problem that's causing some irritation or inflammation. Our body does most of its repair work at night.
Right.
So when we're recovering, our body's doing all this work. So it increases the swelling or inflammation in the joints. That's generally where we're going to get the most tightness, stiffness in the morning. The other side of the coin is that's the hallmark of what's called osteoarthritis.
Yeah, so true.
Stiffness upon waking that recovers as you move more and more and more. So it's usually an indication that something's probably not working right in your neck.
It is not your bed. It's not. Don't believe that.
Okay, so he's been running for a month and work from home, 2-mile runs. I would guess it's going to be a stitch in the QL or the diaphragm. So stretching that's probably going to help you a ton, as well as the electrolytes.
Yeah.
Let's see. So we did that.
You're new in the game of running. Okay, your body's like, meh, I don't really know if I like this. Stretching is going to be helpful, but also like we've kind of reviewed this before. Like, running is a very complicated situation. It's very, very complicated for your whole body, and your whole body has to get involved in order for that to work and move properly. So it's trying to work it all out too, but definitely stretching is going to be helpful ahead of time, even though it's not maybe today being super helpful. But if it does continue to bother you, then most likely you have some muscle imbalances as well. And it's just kind of trying to do the job, even though it's not necessarily intended for it. It's just like, this is what I can do. This is what I'm going to do because Joe Bob over here, this other muscle, isn't doing their job.
Yep.
Does that make sense?
Your body's going to figure it out no matter what.
Right. So
And to your question, we're both chiropractors.
Oh yeah.
Types of doctors, but chiropractors. So physical medicine is really where we're at.
Yeah.
This is the kind of stuff that we thrive on. The last thing that we're going to talk about within the reasons or what the stretching actually does is the fascia. So fascia is a really interesting concept that's really gained a lot of traction in the last couple of years.
Yeah.
So the medical community has really joined us in the thoughts and processes of what the fascia is. The fascia is going to be the connective tissue that's between all of our things. So between our muscles and our joints, between all of our organs. It looks like a web, right? So like a cobweb almost. So it has all these little tentacles that go between everything.
If you've ever been hunting,
yep.
You'll know what fascia is.
Yeah, whenever you're pulling the skin off, or if you've ever broken down a chicken or anything, you see that layer of stickiness between the muscles. That's fascia. Fascia is really integral to a number of different components and functions within our body. Most of the research is telling us that we actually have cells that are in our fascia that produce a lubricant.
Yeah.
Right. This lubricant is what keeps everything move around. Now, if we don't stimulate that fascia, we don't produce that lubricant, everything gets stiff and dry, and that's where we start locking up.
Yeah.
So not just our joints, but our muscles will start doing the same thing.
Yeah.
That they'll dry up and not have that same range of motion or functions. So
because your body is really efficient and it's not going to do things that it doesn't need to do. If it's all like, you're not using this anymore, why am I going to waste precious resources, energy, and effort on it? It will literally. And also because, right, the movement incorporates the blood flow, the nutrition, right? So that will also make it just dry up.
Yep. So stimulating the fascia is really important for a number of different reasons, but stretching does stimulate that fascia in order to help it rebuild, help it stimulate the connective tissue cells that give us the lubrication between it, and it helps us with proprioception. So there's a lot of neurology that's in the fascia that tells us where we are in space as well. So that's something else that they're finding through research is more and more involved in how our muscles and everything work. Right. So the fascia is definitely part of the scenario of what you're getting affected by stretching. A myth, right? So a lot of people are like, oh, if I stretch, do I get stronger?
Oh, yeah.
What do you got for that?
Oh, well, do you get stronger? No, you don't get stronger. That's not how it works. But once again, it goes back to the connection in between your brain, right, and the muscle and other muscles and the lubrication, right? So whenever you have increased mobility and flexibility, you are able to do more things, and all muscles are then able to work together as they should. And so that will give you more stability and make you feel as if you are stronger.
Yep. So the muscle is not necessarily stronger, but you may be able to recruit more of the muscle because you have more stability to it.
Yeah.
More neurological connection in the muscle, endurance will be better. Yeah. So physically that muscle is not going to be any stronger, but you may be able to utilize it better.
Yeah.
So that's definitely what we're going to get through stretching.
I love how you said that. That was really good.
A lot of people think that if I'm not an athlete, I don't work out, I don't need to stretch.
Oh, yeah.
Well, that's not true.
Yeah.
I'm sitting at a desk for 12 hours a day looking at a computer like this. I probably need to stretch quite a few things.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah. I honestly would say, like, the less active you are, the more you actually need to stretch.
Focus on stretching. Actually do some stretching.
Yeah. I would actually go in like the opposite direction of that. Just because, like, you need to get more motion, more fluid. You need to get everything working together.
The only thing that you did that day to help your body get better. Right?
Yeah. It's so important.
For sure.
But if you are an athlete, please stretch as well. But I feel like they already kind of know it. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Well, they know they should stretch.
Right, especially with like the coaches, right? Coaches like, you need to stretch.
Back when I was in football, back in the day, it was always stretching before we worked out. Right?
Oh, okay, yeah.
That was before all the research came out. The static stretching is not necessarily the best to do before you do some dynamic working out or exercise. So most of the research is telling us now that we need to do a dynamic warm up or stretch. So for runners, we would think we're going to do like
so what does dynamic mean, sir? What is dynamic?
We're going to be doing movements that do induce a feeling of stretch, but it needs to be through a movement pattern.
Mhm.
So I'm not going to sit there and just hold a muscle statically. I'm going to do some movement. So that would be more of a dynamic stretch for my trap as opposed to a static stretch for my trap.
So
runners,
like a holding stretch.
Yeah, exactly. Runners need to do more hip mobility, so get the hips warmed up. So like high knee kicks, knee circles, getting their lower back warmed up so they can do some lateral flexions, some bends, some extensions, and just get things moving is what we're looking for. Weightlifters and everything else, some dynamic movements to get those muscles that you're about to engage moving, stimulated, and get the blood flow into them. So that's definitely going to help us with preventing injury, but also get more engagement through those muscles, less soreness afterwards as well.
And so for like weightlifters and things like that, start doing the movement that you intend on doing, but start it like if you're going to be lifting, the bar, start with just the bar. Move in that pattern. Add a couple like pounds on there, do it again. Add some more, do it again until you're getting up to your actual like target goal, your target weight.
I mean, all the research is telling us that to grow muscle or get the best stimulation through muscle, it's at the deepest stretch. So whatever muscle group you're trying to stimulate through weightlifting, you want to be at the deepest stretch point anyway. So you want to find where that deepest stretch is with a lightweight so that you know where your limitations are. You're like, oh yeah, that's the deepest stretch that I have for a bench press. And that's where I feel it the most. Okay, I'm going to mimic that with a weight that's challenging. After an activity, so after you're working out, after you're running, after you've been sitting at the desk forever, that's when we would incorporate the static stretches. Those are the stretches where you're just going to sit there and hold it. We'll cover what a static stretch should look like. So usually we think 20 to 30 seconds of a hold is going to be what's going to benefit that particular muscle the most. It's going to give us all the stimulation that we're looking for. It's actually going to move those muscle fibers and give us some stretch through the system and get that blood flow going. What does it feel like? What should a stretch feel like when I'm doing a static stretch? Should it be painful?
I mean, it shouldn't be painful.
It should feel like something's happening, right? But definitely no sharp pain.
Yeah, no shooting pains. But like you need to feel the stretch.
Something
like
should
you be. like if you're just cruising along during a stretch, then most likely that is not the stretch you need to be doing. Because okay. So like my hamstrings, it's always my hamstrings. It's been my hamstrings forever and a half. It just is what it is. So my hamstrings, I hate, right? And I do it anyways, is what it is. But I can definitely tell the difference in between my hamstrings that need to be stretched. Oh, I don't know. And like trap. You know what I mean? Like that one all day, every day. Like this is just comfy. This just feels good. So maybe I don't need to do so much of that.
Maybe that hamstring. It's screaming at you while you're just getting close to it. That one we should do a little more often, huh? So other than just the 30 seconds, generally we're going to do it a couple of times. We like alternating side to side. That's one of the policies that we have within our TrueForm system. So when patients are stretching in office, generally what we're going to do is a static stretch after we do all of our exercises here. Now we're going to have them do it for 30 seconds. We're going to have them do it 3 times. We're going to alternate sides in between each one. Gives it time to recover, get the blood flow again, get things recovered, but it's going to give us that extra stretch the second time. And then neurologically, it's really going to set in that extra stretch on the 3rd time that we do it. So we always want to do sets of 3s for 30 seconds. So remember 3s, right? That's going to be the best ones for us there. Another thing to help with the stretch, especially with the stress part of it, if you do breathing with it. So mindful breathing. So as we're going deep into the stretch, if we do really concentrate on our letting our air out, so the exhalation. So if you take time and concentrate on a long exhale as you're stretching, that's going to help neurologically help your body release that muscle even more, because as you exhale, your body wants to let go of everything. It's going to help get more of that stimulation through the brain muscle connection, and it's going to help you stretch better.
So as you're stretching, exhale.
Long exhales. Calm exhales. 4 to 6 seconds long, just soft exhale. Most of the people that we're going to be talking to, not just athletes, but people working at desks all day. So cell phones and desk all day. So we got a couple of demonstrations for you. First one's going to be the trap stretch, right? So almost everybody that has a neck problem is going to have a tightness of the trap. It's this muscle that goes down here, even wraps down back there. All right, we're going to feel a lot of tension in that as we've been working all day. So it just gets more and more angry, more and more forward. So a good stretch for that one. I'll show you this side first. We want to make sure that our head's over our shoulders. So that's going to be key number one, over the shoulders like that. Now I'm going to try and take my ear to my shoulder. I'm going to assist it. So I'm going to take that head, I'm going to pull it over towards my shoulder. I always like having the other arm behind my back so that I don't let my shoulders roll forward.
Yeah.
So this keeps me in that upright position. I'm going to pull that ear towards my shoulder until I feel a really good stretch. I'm going to hold that one for 30 seconds as I'm breathing out.
But if you feel numbness, tingling, sharp pain, anything like that, go ahead and pause. Stop.
Don't do that one.
Yeah, don't do that one.
Get it checked out.
Right.
Some people are not necessarily going to feel it just straight to the side. Think about, if you don't feel much of a stretch, think about playing with your nose position, whether you're looking a little bit away or looking a little bit towards. That's going to affect different muscles within the neck region, mainly the scalenes or these respiratory muscles that are deep in the front of the neck here. Some people are going to have more problems with the levator, the trap, or the scalenes. So maybe if you don't feel it just straight to the side, a little bit of rotation. Ooh, all of a sudden I'm feeling it a whole lot where I need to. So that's a little trick that you can do as you get more comfortable with it or you don't feel it. The pecs, another one that's always going to get tight. So my head's forward, my shoulders are going to be tight, and so my pecs are going to get really tight. Generally, we're going to want a corner of something. I think we can see a corner here.
Yeah. I was
There we
thinking,
go.
yeah, that
So
one.
I have a corner right here. I know it's hard to see on the video. I'm going to just have my wrist and elbow level like this. So a nice right angle. And I'm going to have my elbow and my shoulder lined up together. I'm going to put it against that corner. I'm going to push my chest forward towards that. I like pulling back my opposite shoulder to feel a big stretch right through here. Some people are going to feel too much stretch, and they're going to feel some numbness and tingling in the hand. That's not good. That could be that we're pinching the nerves, the arteries in the shoulders, so we may have some issue there. Numbness, tingling, excess pain. That's when we discontinue any of these stretches, but should feel a pretty intense stretch through here. If you feel some pinching in your back, that's definitely not what you want to feel either. So not to avoid that stretch if you're going to get that. 3 times 30 seconds on that one.
Yep.
Hamstrings, just everybody pretty much knows how to stretch a hamstring. Simple ones are going to be like a runner stretch or something like that. So a device that's roughly knee height or a little bit above. I'm going to have my leg on it. Keep my pelvis nice and square to it. I'm going to reach for it. Right? So I'm going to reach down towards it. If you want to get a little bit more of the calf involved, have your toe pointed back towards you a bit more. 3 times 30 seconds. I want to make a point of not doing a big rounded back into the scenario. So I can reach the bottom of my foot if I round my back. Not what I'm looking for. So I want that nice straight back, hinging at the hips. And that's where I'm going to feel the biggest stretch that's going to happen through the hamstrings. 3 times 30 seconds. And we're also going to alternate side to side on that one. All right. So those are some good stretches for sitting at the desk all day. So what is stretching essential for?
Stretching. Oh, is this like pop quiz time? Or are we asking them?
Just
I feel like
statements or recaps, right? So why do we want to stretch?
First of all, it's just good for you. It's going. Yeah. Do you like that?
I like it.
Yeah, it's just that's good for you. Just do it.
To.
It's going to increase like blood flow. It's going to increase circulation. But also it helps your body and your brain connect, right? It's sending a signal saying, oh, hey, listen, I am here. I am going to do work. I am ready to do work. Gets nutrients in there as well. It also will trigger other muscles within your system that they need to start working as well.
Yep. Ooh. Had a question about somebody that was in a low-speed car accident.
Oh, no.
They got rear-ended. Neck was hurting the next day, and then it started going down the rest of her back.
Yeah.
Most of the time, what we're going to think of is a soft tissue injury there. There's going to be some ligament injury. that happened. Whiplash is what we're always thinking of. So it would have damaged some of the connective tissues between the bones as well as the muscles that normally support the spine. So most of the subconscious postural muscles, those are the ones that are readily injured in a car accident because our brain never had a chance to turn them off.
Right.
So she would have had some torn muscles. So you would treat it like any other torn muscle. You want to give it a break to some degree as best you can. So taking a lot of rest, taking it pretty easy until those muscles can recover. Movement and stretching to a degree. So we want to stretch the muscles. We want to stimulate some of that rebuilding to occur in a normal range of motion, but certainly not within a pain point. So I don't want to stretch my muscles until I feel pain. If it feels good, it feels like a good stretch, you can definitely do those stretches for the neck and the back. Heat's your friend too. So it's going to get more of that inflammation to go through the system. It's going to get through there faster. But truly, a rear end car accident causes a lot of damage to the neck, the lower back, and the upper back, regardless of the speed. The minimum threshold, I believe, is 7.8 miles an hour is one research study. The most common research study says 9.8 miles an hour is going to cause enough soft tissue damage that it's presentable in about 10 years that I can take an x-ray and say, oh, you were in a car accident 10 years ago.
Right, like if you didn't take care of it.
If you didn't take care of it. So.
But most people think that you have to be in like a really serious accident in order for it to give you whiplash or some kind of soft tissue damage. And that is just, it's genuinely not the case. The car doesn't look that bad maybe, but your body sure felt it. But get it taken care of as quickly as you possibly can. Yeah. And you will have much better results. So
so often I'll be treating a patient that had a minor rear end car accident 10 or 15 years ago. I got a lot more work to do than I did if it was just day one.
Yeah.
The first couple of days, the treatment, so getting things moving and everything else is much like a scab. You're pushing on a bruise or something like that, so it doesn't feel great. But it gives it a better chance of getting back towards normal.
Right, because as it's healing, everything's healing where it needs to heal, and you're giving your body the right signals to heal appropriately. So
if you leave it, it's going to offset. It's going to say, ooh, this feels better. And then it's going to set all that scar tissue in that position, and it's not going to want to move from that. So at least for the first couple of days, we chill out. We take it easy. Try not to push yourself too hard. Drink plenty of water. Heat's going to be good. Find some kind of treatment. So, chiropractic alone is going to be beneficial to some degree within those kinds of whiplash injuries. Physical therapy is super important too, rebuilding the muscle structures and the parts and pieces in between it. And within a car accident, there's plenty of providers that can offer that for you. But make sure that it's a combination of muscle work and chiropractic. Those two together are what give us the best results. And we see the biggest actual change on the outcome for the other side. So
100%.
Helps prevent a lot of the damage that you would get if you just left it alone. All right, so that's our podcast on stretching. If you have any questions about stretching or anything else related to the body or running or anything like that, you can send us messages through our Facebook or Instagram. You DM us through there. I'm always monitoring those, answering questions that people have. Our website, texasfhc.com. You can send any of the messages through there. We can get a hold of you. Our office is here in Dallas, so if you want to see us in person, that's where you can get us. Until next time, we'll see you later.
See ya.